So this is like the early hours of the morning and there's no light. At this point I feel a little bit discouraged, but I won't give up, no, I won't give in till I reach the end and then I start again. No, I wanna leave, I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I feel. Start again. Yes, yes, yes. I'm starting again. I don't care. Even if there's no light, I will not be discouraged. My laptop can actually last me like 4 hours. So the project I'll be doing today, it was actually given to me by ChatGPT. Like I said before, my tutor in this journey is ChatGPT. So the project I'm doing today is a user list with JavaScript features. So it's basically I'll be using JavaScript to create like a list. Do you like how will I even explain it? You know when you have an array, right? An array, or let's say an array of objects. So we have to put it in a way that it looks like a list, like using that ordered and unordered list. So in a way how, but doing that I'll have to use React now to arrange it in a way that is going to come out in form of a list 1, 2, 3, 4, and something like that. So that's what I'll be doing today. So let's get right into it. Okay, starting with the shortcuts, React shortcuts, so that I can get this. Mhm. So basically, I have to return a list, right? So let me const say list item. Uh, what should be in the list? Let's say names of people that I know. Okay, the string. I just forgot that. AK Shuku Mary. Mm, Jeremy. I don't know anybody that is Jeremy, but let me just use it. Jeremy. Who again? Eunice. Eunice is my very good friend. So now I want to return this whatever this array now. This array of string. I want to return it as a list. So before I do that, let me share my screen so that I can see what I'm doing. npm start. It's loading. A lot of people used to say that whenever they are studying, like, or when they are following a particular roadmap, they don't learn JavaScript before going to React. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Because personally, I did not learn JavaScript though. I only learned the basics, array of objects, array of numbers. What am I saying? Array of objects, array of numbers. Oh my god. So sorry. What I learned in JavaScript was objects, strings, numbers, just the basic things about JavaScript. But I never really did anything with JavaScript. I think there was one time I actually built a project like a calculator using JavaScript, but that was the only thing I did. Okay, there's nothing showing here because I have not. Oh, sorry. There's nothing showing here right now because I've not done anything in my workspace. I've not done anything in this This place as you are seeing this div right here, I've not done anything there. That's the reason why there's nothing showing in my, there's no result. Let me just put it like that. So I want to share this screen into two so that I can see what I'm doing. Nice, 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 nice. Good. So at this point, I want Ikechukwu to be number one, Mary to be number two. What am I gonna do? I'm going to be using map. I can use map to return everything. So first of all, why am I going to do this now? I'm totally confused. I will just go back to ChatGPT and ask it what to do. Okay, 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 okay. Coding is not. Sometimes is it that we have to cram code before we can actually, write the code down? At this point, I don't know. I feel like my brain is empty. But I've done this thing before, like using to-do list. Okay, I'll be using other than OL, right? So at this point, what am I doing? List item. It came list item. So since that actually worked, list item dot map. Think it should work. Oh, uh, items, comma, index. Saying there's an error in this place. So why? Expression expected. Expression expected. Unexpected token. So this is it's telling me that this thing is not correct. Like this particular parenthesis is not correct. I don't know why it's doing that. Items is not defined. Item is not defined. Is item nice correct? Supposed to correct. Item is not defined. Item is not defined. Item is supposed to be defined because this item here is representing everything inside the list item. So it's supposed to be defined now, isn't it? So in React, every list must have a key. So the key is going to be the index. This thing is supposed to work. Oh. I don't understand why it's saying that item is not defined. What could be wrong? Items not defined. Items not defined. I think I'll have to ask ChatGPT. Let's see what's actually going on here. This is the failure that they are talking about. Some of us now will just give up and go and sleep for this small error. Hey, for this small error, I'm not gonna give up. We die here to do here now. I'll just copy the entire code, and give it to ChatGPT. And I'll now say there's error. Help me fix it. It says items is not defined. Why? It says items sorry. It says items are not defined. Why? See, the error is due to the syntax mistake in your map function. You are using this list dot item index, okay, but map expects a callback function that defines the parameters inside parentheses. Is this not the parentheses here? This is the parentheses now. Do you know what is inside the list item? I'll be able to be that. Okay, let's see. Corrected code is what? Okay, this is my array. Uh-huh. Okay, there's supposed to be two. Hey, what a laugh. At this point, I don't know. Do we and how do developers actually do they actually cram their code? Because at this point I don't even get again. No. It's supposed to be two parentheses. I added just one in my own. So come here, I don't know that one. Is it not it? Two parentheses, item, okay. Instead of items, let me use item. Then key, index, then items, then the list, then to do that as well. Okay. Now let's see. It's still not correct though. ChatGPT don't do this one though. My god. This is me that used to use map to write to create a to-do list. I have built a to-do list before using ChatGPT. And I actually use map because in building a to-do list using React, you have to save the state of the former list. So when you are calling it, then you have to use map to loop through what you have stored. But after you have to use state for that one. I don't know, maybe anybody can actually understand what I'm saying. At this point, I am actually doing this thing again, but I cannot. You see the reason why I was saying in my last video yesterday, I was saying that if you stop coding, if you leave coding will leave you. At this point, I don't even know what is wrong with this thing. It's saying that in line 20, in line 12, item is not defined. But coming here now, ChatGPT is saying that this is the corrected code. What's the difference? List item dot map, two parentheses, item index, list, key, index, close, item, list, two parentheses, ol. Okay, ol. I think, okay. After ol, what do we have ahead? Div. Then we have this brackets, then we have this curly bracket, and so. But my code is telling me there is an error in this thing, that the item is still not defined. Like I don't get, even ChatGPT self no fit correct am. Let me copy it again. In this, I think I should use Claude AI this time around and see what is going on actually. Come on, this small thing, that is what I'm struggling with. The code is not right and still. I don't know. Do people really cram code? Because I don't get. There's error in this. There is error in the code below. It says item is not defined. Why? I can see the error in your code. There's a syntax issue with. Okay. Now they've corrected the code for me. Okay, say I can see the error in your code. There's a syntax issue with the parentheses in your map function. Let's fix it. The error, blah 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 function. You had a missing closing parenthesis after the index. After the index, which caused JavaScript to interpret your arrow function incorrectly. Oh, I've seen it. Jesus Christ. I've seen it. This closing bracket here. You see this closing bracket here? It's not in my own. Oh God. A closing bracket that is making me feel like I don't know what I'm coding. Are you guys seeing now that I have added the close bracket now? But there's another error, you guys. This is something else. I think I should just write it over and I should just write everything again since I've seen some of the corrections that I needed to do. Let me write it over again. Two brackets, items, comma, index, two brackets, right? Then the list. And the list is going to have items in it. This is how map function is written in React. Yes. And in React, whenever you are handling anything with list, it must have a key. So I think either it's either you can use index or date dot now for your key, anything you choose, or you can give these strings here that I stored here as the list item. You can give each of them an ID. Then when you come to the list, you now use that ID to now be list item dot ID. You now be your key. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So I'm using the index. So for everything here, the index here in case you could, the index is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So whenever maybe you want to delete something, you're going to use the index to actually filter whatever you want to delete from the list item. You understand? Finally, successful. You see this place right here that is saying successful. That just is if whatever you do is successful here, it's going to give you the exact result. I am super super excited. Like it worked. Oh my god. In split of seconds, I was like, what happened to my brain? You see, now that we have to be very careful. That's one of the reasons why I love to code, because when you are coding, you have to be careful. You see that the error I was making was just a simple parenthesis, a close bracket. For these small projects that ChatGPT gave me, that I've spent how many minutes, even asking the same ChatGPT for correction. But anyways, let's add some, uh, should I add CSS to this? I think. So let's add CSS to it. Let's give this a class name first. List box. Let's say 80 pixels, border, border 1 pixel, solid. Let's say red. 80 pixels is too small, so let's make it 150. Good. You see that inside the box everything has centralized. So that's what I wanted to do. Everything is properly centralized. So let me give it a gap. Let there be gap between the both of them. The gap doing. Oh no. If I want to give the items gap, is not the box I'm going to add a gap to. What I'm going to use, if I want to give the items a gap, I'm going to use the list is what we have that gap. Let me give it the list a class name. It didn't work. Oh, it didn't work. Let me use the OL instead. See that even CSS self is not rice and stew. Oh, wow. This is OL. And you can see now that there's small gap. Let's make the gap, let's say it's 50. So that is very obvious. Still didn't work. 100. It did not work. Oh. I don't, I don't know what to do at this point. So I think I will just leave it like that. Let me put this thing at the center. Let's say margin. Top should be like 50 pixels. Right should be 200 pixels. Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's make it 3. Let's make it 250. It's okay like this. For the list, font size, 30 pixels. So let me increase the width to be 200. That's not bad. So the more I add to these names, let's say I have Jeanette, that would be my number 5. So let's say I have what is this person's name again? Jerry. It didn't work because it is a string and a string has to be in this I don't know, is that column? Jerry. You see?